Hello and welcome back to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And of course it is a big show today because it is the first AEW Dynamite since All Out. Obviously you had this manic week with All In and All Out. And yeah, now kind of coming out of that, and there's a lot happening. And we kick things off with Orange Cassidy after losing the International Championship and promising to show up every week regardless of whether he has a title or not, before Mox interrupts his exit with a new champion, taking to the ring for his defence against AR Fox. They exchange a glare, but suggesting the rivalry is far from over. But Moxley proceeds to eat up Fox, overwhelming him early and cutting an attempt of a comeback. He dropped him a King Goal area and finished him with a Death Valley driver for the win. The match was a showcase for Mox, but one thing became apparent: the tough guy rarely loses and almost never sells the effects of anything long enough to make it matter. There are ways to preserve the badass persona without it being into the ground, a position Mox is dangerously close to. Change things up, show a new side of what we are, or it could be the same old. But with that being said, Cassidy and that match would hardly be a bad thing. But yeah, just kind of a few thoughts on Moxley as he approaches his title reign. But it's not a bad start. It's a fun match. And just setting up a feud as well. 7 out of 10. Yeah, good stuff. Before it's time for Chris Statlander versus Emi Sakura for the TBS title. After successfully defending her title against Ruby Soho, Statlander made it 2-0, fending off Emi Sakura to hold on to her belt. The veteran challenger fought with a sense of urgency, but Statlander weathered the storm and was able to put her opponent down with Sunday Night Fever for the win. There was a great deal of physicality and intensity here. But the match was so short it was never able to establish itself. There were moves and strikes strung together and with little in the way of story or structure that ended abruptly before it ever got going. Considering this is likely to be the only women's match on the show based on the stat lineup, this is yet another indictment of the booker and the creative team for the use of their women's division. Statlander and Soho had a great match All Out, but their efforts and those of the division as a whole were met with the same on Dynamite. Which is unfortunate. So yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. It wasn't a bad match. But I thought just could have been given a bit more time, a bit more. Felt like a bit more of a bigger deal. But yeah, the match at all wasn't bad. Erico and Sammy Guevara then took on at Aussie Open. Don Callis insisted throughout Wednesday's match that Jericho's a self-centered narcissist. While his words did not come to fruition on the night, the veteran and partner Sammy Guevara had a few miscommunications but managed to pull the victory over the former RH tag champs in a very good match that featuring lightning quick offense and the aerial assault of Guevara. Even in defense, Davis and Fletcher impressed once again, proving they can hang with the best. While their win-loss is so-so thus far in the AEW realm, Tony Khan's done a solid job positioning them as top stars, and their match will come sooner or later. And after the match, Guevara did express frustration as there was a poor part between the victors, might the partnership be nearing an end. But yeah, with Callis there, it's interesting what's going to happen. Could the TNT champion join the family? Who knows? But yeah, I think that's maybe where it's leading. But it's an interesting storyline after so long. Yeah, it does mean something. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Before MJF and Samoa Joe came face to face for the first time since Sunday's brawl out All Out, with both firing verbal barbs at one another before a cheap shot by the latter instigated another physical encounter. The self-proclaimed devil rocked Joe with a low blow, but the RHTV champion recovered and set MJF up for the muscle buster, only for Adam Cole to rush the ring and chase him off. Cole checks on his fallen partner, who insisted that his left arm was numb and let out some of the wails of pain and fear. This is a great segment that intensified the issues between Joe and MJF, with the latter looking to prove he's anything but a kid to the physically imposing heel, and the added element of the injured neck and everything with Cole and Strong hanging over it like a diet crowd makes it the single most interesting story in AEW, not to mention it's one of the best and most expansive ever. And yeah, I thought this segment did wonders for everyone. The whole MJF and Cole dynamic keeps growing. Samoa Joe looks like a killer, and yeah, setting up a match which I think everyone's going to love to see. So yeah, this was good stuff. Next up was Trent Beretta versus Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong worked his first match after the neck injury Wednesday night, defeating Beretta to go to the semi-finals. The match was good as you'd expect from two guys who have been long underrated despite their success. The outcome was never really in question, despite Shivani reminding viewers that Beretta earned a big win over Moxley and Penta at Dynamite 200. Strong was focal point Wednesday, and Shivani emphasised that he is milking the injury to the neck. This is the first time that he's really been pushed on the show. That's an interesting development as he joins the story with his friend Adam Cole. For a heel perspective, it allows him to get the heat in the same way Cowboy Bob did in the 1980s, benefiting from fading injuries. Despite the presence of Joe in the tournament, Strong remains a favourite, and yeah, I'd love to see that about Arthur Ashe, and yeah, it's no less than he deserves. The story, how he's been playing his role so far, has just been great. Before, if you had Hangman Page out with Swerve Strickland and Mogul Embassy, and after eliminating Toa Leona and Brian Cage to win the Overall Royal at All Out. Yeah, that's kind of what this is all about. Page hit the ring and had no intention of joining Shivani for an in-ring promo, in having found himself on the end of a verbal assault by Swerve Strickland and powerbomb by Cage. Strickland cooked Page here, criticising his perceived weight gain and accusing the former world champion of riding into the backseat while the Elite Drive, all too happy to get on by his relationship with Omega and the Bucks. And yeah, it was an interesting direction to take, but one that adds gravity to a fresh through. Both men are great in-ring competitors. Presume maybe we'll get this at the upcoming pay-per-view Wrestle Dream, maybe. But yeah, this is a great performance from Strickland on the mic, and Page response in the coming weeks could be really interesting. And yeah, I'm definitely really hyped to see this feud. Two guys who I think together could really do something great together. Next up was Darby Allin versus Nick Wayne. Matt bettered protege in the main event as Darby squared off against Nick Wayne in the tournament. Allin dared his trainee to hit him like he wants when to win the match. When Wayne did, he weathered the storm, trapped him and stomped away at the back of his head until referee Bryce Brunsberg called for the bell and awarded the match to the former TNT champ. It was a perfect example of tough love at the end, and at the same time an example of Allin's toughening up his own trainer's son in the professional wrestling of AEW. Christian Cage and Nick Stories attempted to throw both competitors off their game, appearing mid-match and joining the commentary table. It was unsuccessful. What it did ensure is that viewers understood the feud between them, and with Cage hinting that Allin may not make it to Saturday's tournament semi-final against Strong, who knows what might happen and how Captain Charisma might kind of affect the tournament. But yeah, keeps him part of an active storyline, and yeah, good respect here, good storytelling all round. And you know, considering Nick Wayne still only 18, yeah, I think he's done a really solid job so far. So yeah, this was really good stuff. Overall, AEW Dynamite gets 7 out of 10 from me. I thought it was a really enjoyable episode of Dynamite this week. Really enjoyed the tournament stuff. I think we're getting into that. And yeah, for the post All Out show, yeah, I thought there was enough there to keep you interested. Of course, not long until the next pay-per-view as well. So yeah, we got that to keep us interesting. But yeah, on the whole, a really solid episode of AEW Dynamite. And yeah, get 7 out of 10 from me. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, what's going to say for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.